everyone, and welcome to my channel. And today I'll be reading a scary ex-listener by me. And like I promised, since the last video reached 200 likes and even more, I'm gonna do a special video and it should be out pretty soon. Like not today, but maybe tomorrow or the day after. And anyway, with that said, let's get into the video. Scaramouche and you tried to keep your relationship pretty hidden, at least at first. He didn't like the idea of people just talking about you non-stop, and people seeing him being affectionate and vulnerable. He didn't like it. A show of vulnerability was not an option in his book. He just did not like the idea, and it made him feel weird, like everyone could see him, his own feelings, and his own emotions. He wasn't used to being so transparent with people, so the idea that people could use these things against him, it kind of scared him a little bit. Which is why, for now, even though some people knew you were dating, he tried to keep every moment with you in private. He didn't want people seeing you being soft, or more specifically, him being soft. That's what he was worried about. But sometimes, his feelings would get the best of him. Most of the time, when you ever would come to his room or office where you would be staying, he tried to just keep things civil. He tried to keep your affection towards, just so no one would ever catch you doing anything or find out about how close you actually are if they don't already know. But it seemed like even he himself had some problems following his own rules that he created. It sounds a little stupid, but it's the fact that you came to him dressed like this. Maybe it wasn't the dress that you were wearing. Maybe it wasn't just the makeup or whatever you were doing. Maybe it was the fact that he missed you and he loved you so much that he couldn't help but want to get his hands on you. He got distracted from working, and now it's all your fault, as he told you to come sit on his lap. And of course, you obliged, because, what do you know, you miss him too, and you can't help but want him right next to you, with you, whenever you could have him. And he was more than glad to give you all you wanted. He wrapped his arms around you, calling you close to him, and putting a hand on your hair, stroking it gently, as he just told you to talk about your day. He wanted to hear your voice, to have you be close to him, to be able to feel your heartbeat. All of these things to solidify the fact that you were here with him, and you were not leaving him anytime soon. He loves you, and maybe he's a little bit obsessive about it, but he needs you more than ever, after having missed you for so long. He's traveled to do some missions, and ever since he came back, he hasn't even had much free time to spend with you, so it's been a lot of work for him. And once he starts to kiss you, it just doesn't stop there. Your lips against his, and soon enough, he's deepening it, breaking every rule he had created, just for the purpose of having you, because he wants you so much. It's no longer a want, no. For Scaramouche, it felt more like a need, as he held you even closer. And that's when someone opened the door. Oh God. This was not supposed to happen. Specifically, this was the one thing that Skara was afraid of. Someone coming in unannounced and seeing everything that he meant to hide. And as he pulls away from you, his face flushed. He sees that it was one of his servants. How dare they just not knock? Sir, I thought you were outside. I only came to put these back. And one glare from Scaramouche. They knew that they had done something very wrong, and it was not going to simply end with an apology. it was much bigger than that. They were terrified, trembling, and it took you squeezing his hand gently, calming him down, and telling him it's no big deal, and that they didn't mean it. And they actually are too scared to talk about this. They never tell anyone, because they know just from a look on his face that if word got around of what happened in his office, then they would end up dead. That's why they quietly left, bowing one last time. And, of course, not without an apology. Once they had left, though, you just kept his face in your hands, kissing him softly, and telling him it's fine, that you weren't doing anything wrong. And after a lot of resistance from him, and him trying to tell you that no one was supposed to see you this way, you remind him of how powerful he is, how no one could hurt him anymore, and that he was no longer vulnerable. And that does put him at peace. He's always been scared of his own emotions, scared of facing them and confronting them, scared of acknowledging their existence and letting people know that they're there too. But you have been helping him. You've helped him so much already that he can now admit to having these emotions, these soft ones, the emotions of love, care, and many more things that he had forgotten he almost had. Now that he has them with you, he's intent on never losing them. That's why he's so glad to have you by his side, and that's why he will do everything he can to protect you from anyone, and no one will ever cause harm to you. And as soon as the two of you got relaxed from the previous mishap, he went back to kissing you again. Now, with much more intensity and love. Your kisses being much more intimate as well. And as he held you, he felt so much love in his heart, so much of it, that it felt like the two of you were stronger than the entire world combined, just as long as he had you by his side. Yeah, you can tell, you make him pretty happy, and he's so lucky to just have you, because you're his world, and you're his happiness.